Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the beating heart of celebrity analysis. Welcome to News Around. If you thought the world of Turkish entertainment was merely about scripted dramas and on-screen romances, prepare to have your perception shattered by a reality that is far more compelling than fiction. Today, we are not discussing a scene from a series, nor a planned paparazzi stunt. We are dissecting a moment so fleeting, yet so electrically charged, that it has managed to divide the internet, resurrect old philosophical debates about marriage, and place one of Turkey's most beloved power couples under a microscopic lens of public scrutiny. Before we unravel the mystery behind the interview that set social media ablaze, I need to remind you of something crucial. If you enjoy our deep dives into the hidden layers of celebrity lives, please make sure you are subscribed to News Around. But if you want to be part of our inner circle, if you want to help us keep these detailed reports coming, I urge you to click that join button right next to the subscribe icon. Your support through the join feature allows us to go further, dig deeper, and bring you the news no one else dares to whisper. Now, buckle up, because we are about to analyze a single gaze that spoke 1,000 words. It began as a routine promotional obligation. Barış Arduç, a name synonymous with charisma and an acting prowess that has crossed borders, found himself at an international event. The setting was professional, the lighting was standard, and the questions were likely the mundane inquiries an actor faces 1,000 times in a career. Yet, what transpired on that screen transcended the boundaries of a standard Q&A session. It wasn't what Barış said that captured the collective imagination of millions, it was the atmosphere in which he said it. Specifically, it was the person holding the microphone, a foreign journalist whose professional composure seemed to crack, if only for a few minutes, under the sheer weight of the actor's presence. Why did a simple interview abroad become the single most discussed headline in the Turkish entertainment sphere? The answer lies in the nuance of human interaction. We are biologically wired to detect chemistry, to notice the subtle dilation of pupils, the prolonged eye contact, and the tilt of a head that signifies fascination. The footage, which has now been dissected frame by legions of fans on X, formerly Twitter, and Instagram, paints a picture that many argue is undeniable. The journalist was not merely listening, she appeared to be captivated, perhaps even mesmerized, by the man standing before her. Social media, in its infinite capacity for drama and exaggeration, immediately seized upon this narrative. It wasn't just an interview, it was perceived as a televised seduction, a moment where professional boundaries blurred into personal admiration. But was it truly a flirtatious encounter? Or are we, the audience, projecting our own desires and perceptions onto a harmless interaction? This is the question that has sparked a digital civil war among fans. On one side, we have the pragmatists who see nothing more than a polite journalist doing her job. On the other, we have the romantics and the cynics who insist that the energy radiating from the screen was palpable enough to light up a city. Barış Arduç, for his part, remained the epitome of cool. This is a man who has built a career on his ability to command a room with nothing more than a glance. His posture was relaxed, his answers articulate, and his demeanor unfazed. Yet, it was precisely this nonchalance that seemed to fuel the journalist's visible intrigue. It is a classic dynamic, the unbothered star and the captivated observer. But as the video spread from TikTok to the gossip columns, the narrative shifted from the interview itself to the woman who was nowhere near the cameras, yet whose presence loomed larger than anyone else's, Gups Oze. Let us delve deeper into the specifics of this incident. In the age of high-definition video and slow-motion replays, nothing escapes the eagle eyes of the internet. The foreign journalist's body language became a subject of forensic analysis. Viewers pointed out the way she smiled, a smile that many claimed reached her eyes a little too genuinely. They noted the way she leaned in, closing the physical distance between herself and the actor, a gesture often interpreted in psychology as a subconscious desire for intimacy or connection. Comments flooded social media platforms with a ferocity rarely seen for such a minor event. "She is devouring him with her eyes," one user wrote, a sentiment echoed by thousands of others. Another popular comment read, "This isn't journalism, this is a fan meeting in disguise." The phrase "those looks weren't innocent" began trending, becoming a catchphrase for the entire saga. It is fascinating to observe how quickly a narrative can be constructed. Within hours, the journalist was no longer a professional reporter in the eyes of the public. She was a woman smitten, a stand-in for every fan who has ever dreamed of being in her position. However, we must ask ourselves, is this fair? Are we reading too much into a cultural difference? Perhaps in her culture, such intense eye contact is merely a sign of respect and active listening. Or perhaps, and this is the theory that gains the most traction, Barış Arduç's magnetism is simply universal, capable of disarming even the most seasoned professionals. Whatever the truth may be, the perception is what matters in the world of celebrity news. And the perception was clear. The air in that room was thick with tension. I want to pause here and ask you, the News Around family, have you watched the footage? When you look at the journalist's expressions, do you see professional attentiveness, or do you see a woman who has momentarily forgotten she is on the job? I want to read your theories in the comments section below. Do you think social media is exaggerating, or is the chemistry undeniable? Don't forget to like this video if you're enjoying this analysis. As the video circulated, the conversation inevitably pivoted to Barış Arduç's wife, the talented and witty Gups Öze. In a twist of fate that only the internet could orchestrate, an old interview of Gups began to resurface alongside the new footage of Barış. In this past interview, Gups had uttered a sentence that was now being hailed as a prophetic philosophy on marriage and beauty. She had said, "My husband may be handsome, but when he's constantly in front of you, that initial excitement disappears." At the time, it was seen as a humorous, down-to-earth remark from a woman known for her comedy. But today, in the context of the thirsty journalist narrative, those words have taken on a profound, almost poetic weight. The internet quickly coined a metaphor that has since gone viral, the sea view analogy. The sentiment shared by thousands of users is this. While Gups compares her husband to a house with a magnificent ocean view, something beautiful that the homeowner eventually gets used to, others are dreaming of just spending a moment getting lost in that view. It is a stunningly accurate observation of human nature. We normalize the extraordinary when it becomes part of our daily routine. To Gups, Barış is the man who perhaps leaves socks on the floor or forgets to buy milk. To the rest of the world, and apparently to this foreign journalist, he is a deity of screen and stage. This juxtaposition created a fascinating dichotomy online. On one hand, there was envy. "I want to have Gups' mindset," became a popular refrain. Users expressed a desire to reach that level of security and nonchalance where having one of the world's most desired men as a partner is just normal life. On the other hand, there was a projection of jealousy. Despite Gups' cool history, the gossip mills began to churn out speculative fiction. "She must be furious," some claimed. "No woman can watch another woman look at her husband like that without feeling a pang of territorialism." Let's address the elephant in the room, jealousy. It is the emotion that fuels the tabloid industry, the green-eyed monster we all love to speculate about. The narrative being spun by the gossip columns, though never confirmed by any official source, is that Gups Öze must have had a crisis upon seeing these images. The comments section is a testament to this projection. "Silent women are the most dangerous," one user wrote, implying that Gups' lack of public reaction is evidence of a private storm. "She laughed it off in public, but she's taking notes mentally," wrote another. But why do we assume this? Why is it so hard for the public to believe that a relationship can be secure enough to withstand a few admiring glances from a stranger? Perhaps it speaks more to our own insecurities than to the reality of the Arduç household. Gups Öze has built her career on being sharp, observant, and deeply confident. It is entirely plausible that she viewed the footage not with rage, but with the amused detachment of someone who knows she holds the deed to the house with the sea view, while the journalist is merely a tourist passing through. Furthermore, we must consider Barış Arduç's reaction, or rather, his lack thereof. In the face of a trending topic that questioned his fidelity, his professionalism, and his marriage, Barış did what he does best: he remained silent. There was no defensive Instagram story, no press release, no awkward justification. This silence is a power move. It suggests that the incident is so beneath his concern that acknowledging it would give it more weight than it deserves. This stoicism, this refusal to engage with the drama, ironically makes him even more attractive to the public and likely more reassuring to his partner. If you are appreciating this breakdown of celebrity psychology, please consider supporting News Around by clicking the join button. Your membership helps us dedicate the time needed to write these in-depth scripts and edit these videos. It's a small step for you, but a giant leap for our channel's growth. And of course, make sure you've smashed that subscribe button. It is important to contextualize this event. This is not the first time Barış Arduç has been the subject of intense female attention in international settings. From film festivals in Europe to galas in the Middle East, he has long been an ambassador of Turkish charisma. However, what made this specific instance different? Why did this interview break the internet when others didn't? The answer lies in the visual evidence. In previous instances, we heard about the admiration. This time, we saw it. We saw the micro-expressions, the unbreakable eye contact, the chemistry that leaped off the screen. The camera captured a candid moment of human attraction that felt raw and unscripted. In a world of PR-managed interactions, raw humanity is a rare commodity, and the internet devoured it. Insider sources, those shadowy figures that keep the gossip industry alive, claim that there is absolutely no trouble in paradise. They suggest that Gups Oze is actually amused by the situation, perhaps even flattered that her husband still commands such attention. However, there is a subtle distinction to be made. While admiration is acceptable, the deliberate leaking or highlighting of overly intimate moments by media outlets is reportedly something the couple frowns upon. They value their privacy immensely, and while they cannot control the eyes of a journalist, they certainly dislike the public spectacle that follows. This brings us to a critical question about the media itself. Was this viral moment organic, or was it a manufactured perception? Did social media accounts amplify a normal interaction to create drama where there was none? By zooming in, slowing down, and adding romantic music to clips of the interview, fans created a narrative that might be far removed from reality. We are watching a movie directed by the audience, starring two people who didn't know they were being cast in a romantic drama. As we wrap up this extensive analysis, we are left with a fascinating case study of modern celebrity culture. We have a handsome actor doing his job, a journalist who may or may not have been unprofessional, a wife whose past words have become internet philosophy, and an audience desperate for a story. The sea view metaphor will likely stick with Barış Arduç and Gups Oze for years to come. It is a perfect encapsulation of their public image. He is the breathtaking scenery, and she is the grounded, confident owner who knows the value of what she has without needing to scream it from the rooftops. The foreign journalist, in this story, played the role of the catalyst, the mirror that showed us just how powerful Barış's allure truly is. Whether Gups laughed, cried, or ignored the video entirely, one thing is certain: Barış Arduç remains the undisputed king of silent charisma. He didn't need to say a word to trend on every social media platform, he just had to exist. And in an industry where stars fight for attention, that effortless power is the ultimate currency. Thank you for staying with us through this journey into the nuances of fame, love, and viral moments. What is your takeaway from the Sea View controversy? Do you agree with the internet that the journalist crossed a line, or was it just innocent admiration? And more importantly, which other Turkish celebrities would you like to see us analyze with this level of detail? Let us know in the comments below. Please, do not forget to like this video if you enjoyed the storytelling. Subscribe to News Around so you never miss a beat of the Turkish entertainment world. And once again, a massive thank you to our members who have clicked the join button. You are the true producers of this channel. Until next time, keep your eyes open, because in this world, a single look can change everything. Goodbye.